Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. This is scenario 6.3 with the character Drelm over at the Earthworks. We're at this location. On your check that has the electricity trait, remove any one die. Alright, well Drelm is the Vault Keeper, level 6. He's doing great. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Ancients. First thing we get is the Guardian Scroll. It's a Construct Elite, Combat 11 or Stealth 8, immune to Bludgeoning, Mental and Poison trait. So I can't use my System of Bastet, unfortunately, on this card. I'll just go ahead just for fun. Let's see. It says for your combat check, reveal this card and recharge a card that has the Divine trait to use your Divine skill plus 3d6. Okay, so why don't we just do that? Divine. I'll recharge a Blessing of Pharasma. Then, I'll go ahead and roll my Divine trait, which is a D8. And I get to roll 3d6 on this check. And it's a Combat 11. My Divine buff for Drelm is a plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's almost an auto defeat, as long as I don't roll all ones. Well, that was pretty close. Wow, look at that terrible roll. But even with that terrible roll, my buffs were plus 6, and I was able to defeat 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I defeated it by 1. Hilarious, but interesting. Resetting Drelm's hand, he gets a Blessing of Khepri. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of Thoth. And we get the second law. Dun dun dun. So display this card next to this scenario. While displayed, when a character succeeds at a check to defeat a barrier, roll 1d6. If the difficulty of the check was exceeded by that amount or more, each character at that character's location banishes a card or summons and encounters the henchman Voices of Spire, then banishes this card. Okay, interesting. So I have to actually banish a card. So there we go, the second law. So what we're going to do now is we're going to advance the Blessings deck, and we get the Curse of the Sphinx. We get the Curse of the Sphinx, and it affects us right away. So we have to use that right now. We have to go ahead and examine this card. And it's a boon. So it says here, if it's a boon, recharge your hand, then reset your hand, then discard a card. Wow, how about that? So what we have to do now, thanks to Curse of the Sphinx, is we have to recharge our hand. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. We have to, and Drelm's hand was pretty cool. Then we have to reset the hand. So drawing 6 new cards. And then we're going to have to discard a card. So we will go ahead and we will discard, tough choice. We're going to discard the Sands of Time spell. Okay, but now we can explore, and we can get this really sweet card. It's a level 5 item. We really want this. So it's Constitution, Fortitude, Wisdom, Divine. So Drelm's Wisdom Divine. So his So what he's gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and use this Blessed of Abdar. And we have a power feat that says when you would discard it to add dice to a check, you can recharge it instead. So that's a cool power feat. Finally using that power feat of Drelm. So we're going to roll a Divine check by rolling 2d8, and we're adding 6 to this roll. So 4, 5, 6, and our buff for Divine was plus 6, so we acquire this boon. That's cool. It's got like a lion on it. I like it. At the end of your turn, reveal this card to recharge a random card from your discard pile. Well, that's what we're going to do. So we get to recharge the random card from our discard pile. And we are resetting our hand. Alright, that's pretty cool. Advancing the Blessings deck. Blessed of Osiris. Alright, and we come across the Rook. Combat 13, it's an animal with the acid trait. So all damage dealt by the Rook is acid damage. If your check to defeat does not have the attack or ranged trait, and we don't have the range trait, so the difficulty is increased by +4. So we need 2 combat 17 checks. Fortunately, what we have is we have the fire kukuri. So we're going to go ahead and just, and we also have the embalming fluid. So the fire kukuri gives us a strength die of D10 and a D4. And then our buffs between strength and the embalming fluid is actually +8. So we're adding 8 to this roll, and we need a 17. So we rolled 8, so we got 3, 4, 5, and 8. Actually, the fire kukuri gives us an additional +1. So our buffs are actually 9. So 9 and 5 is 14. We needed a 17. So we have bird feather tokens. That's actually turned out to be one of the better items Drelm has. We're going to re-roll that 3. Alright, so well, we get a 4. So we get 4, 5, 6, and our buffs were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 and 6 is 15. We needed a 17. So we failed by 2. Fortunately, this Aegis of Recovery, we can recharge this card to reduce acid, cold, or poison damage dealt to you to 0. So we'll recharge that. We failed the check, but we'll have to go ahead. Actually, you know what? We're not going to fail that check because I'm going to go ahead and use Maga Three Fingers. She's in my hand. I'm going to recharge her to add 3 to that roll. So we succeed in the first check. The embalming fluid, I have to use that really quick. It says disable 7. Drelm's disable is +5. So as long as I don't roll a 1. So that was 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that was rolling for the embalming fluid. We don't have to lose a card. And now we're going to use the fire kukuri again. This time we're going to recharge the card to add 2d4. Alright. It's a good thing Drelm has all these nifty shenanigans in his hand. Alright, so this time rolling an additional 2d4. We are using the embalming fluid, so our total buffs are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4 is 13, and 4, and another 4, and a 3. Okay, so that's more than enough. That's over 17. So, wow, 3 4s, how about that? 12, 13, 14, 15, and our buffs were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it rolled a 24. We only needed a 17. So the Rook is banished. Rolling for embalming fluid. Okay, rolled a 2 again, but we succeeded in that because our disable is +5. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset our hand. So now what we're going to do is we're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessed of Ra. We will explore. It's the Burglar's Buckler. Actually, so we have this Curse of the Sphinx. So it says here we're examining this card. It is a boon. We have to then recharge our hand, reset our hand, and then discard a card. Well, fortunately I have the Remove Curse. I should have used that before activating Curse of the Sphinx, but I'm going to just play that. I get rid of the Curse of the Sphinx, and now I'll just do a normal exploration. So this is Constitution Fortitude Disable. Drelm's Disable is D6, D8 plus 6. So this is an auto acquire. That's pretty cool. We'll keep Drelm's hand as it is. Advance the Blessings deck, Blessing of the Ancients. And we get this scenario's villain. Trigger Curse, Outsider Electricity Veteran. So we did not examine this card. So the difficulty to defeat is increased by twice the scenario's adventure deck number. This is scenario 6, so we're adding +12 to this check. So we can do a Divine 20 or a Combat 23. So we'll do the Combat 23. I'll go ahead and use the embalming fluid. And I'm going to use the Natron Fang. Let's see. Is there anything else we can do here? Okay, so that's pretty much all the buffs we get, which is kind of sad. So D10, Natron Fang gives us a D8 plus 1. So it doesn't have the undead trait. It's the earthwork, so we have to remove that die. So basically we're rolling a D10 and we're adding, our total buffs are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 and 10, so this is going to be an auto fail then. Wow. We just did not have the right weapon. So we rolled a 2. So what happens is that our total buffs were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we failed by 12. So what we're going to do is we will go ahead and use the Anktek's armor. So bury this card to reduce combat damage to 0, so we can discard it. So we'll discard that card. What we do suffer a Scourge because of the Agash. Scourge die in level 6. I believe that's a D10. Let's go ahead and check the rules real quick. So Scourge die. Yep, it's a D10. Let's roll the 5. So we get Curse of the Ravenous. So we do acquire that curse. And there it is. We get Curse of the Ravenous. And what happens is that the Agash gets shuffled back into the deck. Alright, well I was thinking that Agash was going to be a pushover. But as it is, 1, 2, 3, there's 5 cards left in the location deck. So the second card will be on top. I gotta now reset my hand. And now what I have to do is I have to roll for Curse of the Ravenous. It's a 3, so all spells and weapons in my discard pile I would have to bury, but I don't have any. So we will reset Drelm's hand. It's a Blessed of Widget, and he's back. The only difference this time around is that I do have a Corrosion spell. So discard this card to add 1 die to a check against the monster that has a construct or undead trait. Oh wow. So that doesn't help at all. I thought it was going to help, but as it is, it's just going to be the same thing, the auto fail. So roll the 2, and our buffs, because we had the embalming fluid. I forgot to roll for embalming fluid last time, but once again I make it. I'll roll again for embalming fluid. Wow, I keep rolling 2s on that die. So as it is, so once again we're taking 12 points of damage. So what we can do, so basically what's going to happen is we don't have anything that's going to really protect us. So we have to discard our entire hand as damage. And what's going to happen is we got to roll on the Scourge die. So 5. So once again, I think that's another Curse of the Ravenous. Let me double check here. Yep. So at least we got the same curse. Agash gets shuffled back into the deck. Rolling randomly to see which card is on top. It's a 3. Now I'm going to roll for Curse of the Ravenous. We have to lose all blessings. So we don't have any blessings in our discard pile. We are resetting Drelm's hand. Okay, he's got some stuff to deal with that critter now. Advancing the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of the Ancients, and he's back. Okay, so this time Drelm has the Dune of Doom spell, and he has a Blessing of Pharasma. So we'll just go ahead and use that. Dune of Doom is our arcane skill, plus it's 3d10, and since we used the Blessing of Pharasma, we get to roll another 2d8. And it's the Earthworks, so we have to remove a die. I'll remove the d8. So we need a total of 23. With the Divine, I'm adding a total of 6 to this roll. So we get a total of 10, 18, 19, 26. And we're adding a total of 6. So 32. We only needed a 23. So we defeated the Agash by 9. Okay, we didn't even have to worry about the second barrier because we didn't defeat any barriers, or the second law because there weren't any barriers. This Agash has been defeated. It's I thought it's cool. I like the whole electricity earthworks remove a die. That actually worked out pretty cool. And we can reset Drelm's hand no problem. Curse of the Ravenous don't have to worry about. So this scenario is closed. Alright, let's go ahead and do a excuse me, sneeze coming on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and do a deck check. So there's Drelm. What's cool about this scenario is he was able to get that new level 5 treasure. So here's our deck check. Well, first of all, before we get to the deck, the reward for this scenario was a card feat. Let's go ahead and zoom in there for you. So card feat for Drelm. I mean, right now he's doing fine. Cards. He already has a weapon, spell, armor, item, and an ally card feat. So we might as well just go ahead and give him an additional blessing card feat. That means I'll be able to look through all the blessings that are of level 4 or less and give one to Drelm. And now let's go ahead and look at the deck check here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look through cards that have level 5 or 6. Because those are the cards that he can trade to a trader, right? So any cards that have, so the Dune of Doom, let's see, anything else here? Okay, he's got the new Aegis. He's going to be tossing some cards here. So he's got the Life Lantern. Okay, so you know what's really cool is right now, this is Drelm's deck check. This is what Drelm has in his deck. He's got the Axe of the Imperative. Okay, so he has these items he can trade to the trader, right? He's got the Aegis, the Life Lantern, and the Axe of the Imperative. So he will go ahead, and he got a new blessing. So he can either get a new weapon, a new item, or he can get. Let's go ahead and get him an item. So let's see. Or he can get an armor. So he's got some cool options here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these cards, and we're going to roll randomly to see what kind of. So 6 and 8. Okay. So basically, here's what the trader is offering, and the trader, of course, that we're visiting is good old Falsing Deek. So Falsing Deek's got a flying carpet. Falsing Deek has items that are level. Tears of Death he's got for us, or he's going to give us a Chest of Keeping. Okay, not too interested really in any of this stuff. Display this card. While displayed at the start of your turn, you may put a card on the top of this card. At the end of your turn, you may draw a card from this card. So it's a cool way to cycle through your deck, I guess. Tears of Death. If you played a weapon on your combat check, reveal this card to add 2d8 and the acid, cold, or poison trait. After the check, succeed a disable or craft 12 check, or Tears of Death deals 1d4 plus 1 poison damage to you. Then bury your discard pile. Nah. Carpet of Flying. Recharge this card to evade a bane you encounter. Then move all characters at your location. So that's really not going to be useful. So basically, are we going to chuck the Aegis of Recovery and the Life Lantern for any of these treasures? Doesn't look like it. So we're going to hold on to all that stuff and say, sorry, Falsing Deek, not interested in any of the stuff you're offering. Maybe we will have better luck next time we visit him. But as it is, this stuff is just too good. Alright, well that's the state of Drelm's deck. He's on level 6. He only has 3 items that are, actually he's got 4 items with the Dune of Doom spell that are levels 5 or 6. So, but other than that, his power feats are doing great. He's a Vault Keeper. So, that's where he's at. Alright, well thanks for watching, and I will have another adventure up shortly.